Welcome, everybody, to our council meeting, May 16th, 2023. I see we have quite the crowd here today, so welcome again. And you see before you council the agenda. I'll take a motion, please. Moved by Councillor Locke and second by Councillor Lane. Thank you. All in favor? And those opposed? Motion carried, noting there is nothing outside the kit. I'll now read the lands acknowledgement. We begin today's public council meeting by respectfully acknowledging the province of Newfoundland and Labrador as the ancestral homelands of many diverse populations of Indigenous peoples, including the Beothuk, who have contributed to 9,000 years of history on the island of Newfoundland. Today, this province is home to diverse populations of Indigenous and other people. We acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit. We honor this beautiful land as we strive together for collective healing and true reconciliation. Council, you see now in the next item there is the minutes from the previous meeting, May 2nd. And I'd like to give you a chance, if you would, any errors or omissions. See no hands up on motion of Councillor Fry and seconded by Deputy Mayor Kiley. All in favor? Those opposed? And that is carried as well. Business arising, please quote the item number.
Your worship, if I may.
Please.
Just wondering, 23-05-245 Youth Week from May 1st to 7th. Just wondering how the turnout was and what kind of activities were successful.
Councillor or Director Collins is not here today. We have Manager Tilley.
Yes, your worship. It was overall, it was very successful. Some of the activities that we had were karaoke. Excuse me. We had karaoke. We had a paint night, a Nerf party, pool and ping pong tournament, as well as some swimming activities. Speaking to the staff there, overall, the average was about 25 to 30 kids that participated in the event. Unfortunately, the baseball tournament that was scheduled postponed because there were some school baseball tournaments, I believe, that same weekend. But in general, participation was up and things went very well.
That's great to hear. Thank you so much. I'd like to do more of those, actually. Thank you.
Any further business arising, council? Hearing none, let's move on. In the agenda, National Public Works Week, May 21st to the 27th. The theme is Connecting the World Through Public Works. And this is a provincial proclamation as well. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Newfoundland and Labrador. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, employees from provincial and municipal governments and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's and province's transportation, water supply, water treatment and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for our citizens, civic leaders, and children in Canada to gain knowledge of and to maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. Whereas the year 2023 marks the 63rd annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association. Therefore, be it resolved that I, the Mayor of Mount Pearl, on behalf of my colleagues on council, we do hereby designate the week May 21st to the 27th as National Public Works Week. And I urge all people to join with the representatives of the Canadian Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national safety, health, and quality of life. In witness thereof, I set forth my hand, as they say, and I sign it with the seal of the City of Mount Pearl, and you can consider it done as of May 16th today, May 16th of 2023. Anybody would like to speak to that? Yes, I'm going to go with Councillor Locke and then Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm so delighted to see this proclamation come in. As we discussed at our committee around this, our public works crew are like the stage crew behind the scenes, the camera people behind the camera. The show looks great. The television program looks great, but there's an awful lot of people behind the scenes that make the show go on and run so smoothly. So we have a great group of competent, dedicated workers. And when you think about, they're into our bulk garbage collection right now, for example, street cleaning, repairing our potholes, or cleaning out our storm sewers, testing our drinking water every day of the year, ensuring that we have leak detection that's ongoing, collecting our garbage, snow clearing, maintaining our buildings. I mean, the list goes on and on. They're picking up garbage right now. They're mowing our fields and preparing all of our recreational facilities for the activities that our residents enjoy. So again, it's a great opportunity here to celebrate our workers, to acknowledge them and let them know how much we appreciate all they do. They do it quietly behind the scenes. They don't receive the recognition sometimes that they deserve, but it is nice to see that sometimes our residents do reach out and thank them. I know we just had one recently where the resident was extremely delighted with how prompt our public works staff responded and how polite and courteous they were, and they stayed with them until the problem was resolved. So, so this is a great proclamation, and I'm looking forward to the activities that we have planned to acknowledge and to celebrate all the great folks we have that work with Public Works with the City of Mount Pearl. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship, and thank you to my colleague Jim and our Councillor Locke and co-chair of the committee. We are so, every time we meet, we're blown away by the reports that come from the city, from our committee, from Public Works, the work that's being done, but more importantly, the vision and the optimism of ways in which we can do it more efficiently, ways in which we can improve our city. Our Public Works is doing the work presently, but also those that are part of the planning and just the incredible amount of work. And the best way to understand it is if you're on a road and you're having an uncomfortable, nice drive on a road, you're in a park and it's, you know, it's cleared and you're enjoying the day, that you walk into the, you know, the Reed Center and you just go in for, for some activities or an events. And what you have to understand is the nuts and bolts of that is Public Works. We have right now 57 permanent full-time, 26 seasonal people. We have a massive amount of people that are doing work behind the scenes, on the scenes, throughout the entire community. That includes, I was just reviewing, our director, Delamont, had sent out a little brief overview of the Public Works services, and it just absolutely, I was in awe by looking at it. We have right now 9,605 residential properties that do weekly recycling garbage. That is just one item. We have over 116 kilometers of roads that we snow clear and ice manage. We have 60 kilometers of trails, 7 recreational clubs, 3 civic areas and open spaces that we manage, clean, uptake in every sort of way. We do water services for, like, right now, we've got about 137.6 kilometers of water main line, 127.4 kilometers of sewer main line, 835 fire hydrants, about 2,651 catch basins, a pub station, a sick leave, 3 pressure reducing stations. This is ongoing, et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. We have a fleet service of over 110 vehicles that we maintain and that maintain us. It's just absolutely incredible. And again, in those times, it's so funny, Public Works, you often see it when it's at work, but it's so important to acknowledge on the days where you're just driving around, enjoying your day, enjoying your activities, enjoying the city. That is all because of Public Works.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I think a lot of it too, what happens in the city, we don't give staff the credit they deserve. And a lot of things happen quite well in the city, and Public Works is certainly one of them. Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Worship. I'll be short and sweet. I just want to personally, congratulate, National Public Service Week from May 21st to 27th. I just want to acknowledge all of the workers at the city of Mount Pearl. We have a very versatile bunch in the city, as we know. We're certainly recognized for our top-notch golden service, and that certainly goes to all employees in the city. I had a comment actually made to me the week, somebody from that came into City Hall to pay a bill for their daughter, and they don't even live here actually. And they were really impressed when they came into the front entrance of City Hall, and they said, Mount Pearl is a great place. It's run really well. The city is ran well. Yeah, I could tell when I walked into the front entrance. So this really goes to all of the city workers, not just, I'm not going to single anybody out, but, I'm proud to be a councillor here in the city of Mount Pearl. I just want to acknowledge the great work done by everybody in this room and everybody that, manage people, and, the great job that we do in the wintertime and also in the summertime, year-round service. Congratulations for doing a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. We're going to move on now to the next proclamation, International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia. And whereas the city of Mount Pearl recognizes that no one can be discriminated against on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity or expression. Whereas the city is a society open to everyone, including lesbian, gay, bisexual, and trans people, LGBTQ+, and to all other people who identify with sexual diversity and the multiplicity of gender identities and expressions. Whereas despite recent efforts towards greater inclusion of LGBTQ+ people, homophobia and transphobia are still present in our society. Whereas May 17th, which is tomorrow, is the International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia, and is celebrated as such in many countries, and is the result of a Quebec-based initiative promoted by Foundation Emergence, started in 2003. Now, therefore, I, the Mayor of Mount Pearl, on behalf of my colleagues on council, we do hereby proclaim May 17th as International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia in the city of Mount Pearl. And I call this observance to the attention of our citizens. And I'd also like to note that tomorrow night, we're having our Focus on Youth Awards as part of the celebration of International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia. Councillor Fry, and then the Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship. May 17th is the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia. And it's an important point of reflection when it comes to queer rights, issues, and equality, whether it's here in Mount Pearl or around the world. And collectively, we like to think that as a society, we've come a long way and we don't need this anymore, particularly in Canada. At a glance, this is the case. However, while LGBTQ2+ community has indeed made great strides, at least in our country, the goal now shifts to protecting that progress from those who seek to bring us backwards. So why do we need a day like today? Did you know that May 17th was chosen for the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia due to it being the anniversary of the World Health Organization removing homosexuality from its international classification of diseases as a mental disorder? It was in WHO as a mental disorder. And you would think that this was a long time ago. However, it wasn't. It was actually in 1990. So it's come a long way, but there's still ways to go. And as we see in the United States and even some parts of Canada, there are movements that seek to roll back rights and protections for queer communities, harmful rhetoric, and the return of stereotypes that have been left in history where they belong. And even here in Mount Pearl, it was not that long ago that pride flags were repeatedly stolen from school property and burned. And while Mount Pearl is an open-minded, loving, and accepting community for people from all walks of life, we are not immune either. And we must always be vigilant when it comes to protecting the rights of our neighbors. We must show our love out loud, because love always triumphs over hate. So to the LGBTQ2+ community here in Mount Pearl, please know that we see you and we support you, and we're glad that you are here. And you always have a place and a home in our city, not just May 17th, but every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Fry. That was incredibly well said and a little bit emotional. This is an important day, and I think it has to do with it. It impacts a lot of people. Almost every person knows somebody who they love, who is a part of the community, who is an ally, or has been impacted in a really detrimental way around hate, institutional harm. And we are living in it right now. We are looking at things that are happening that are kind of somewhat scary. And we're really considering that things like performances drag as something that could be potentially harmful, or rolling that back. And we're looking at harmful things happening in the United States around that. It's scary times. And then at the same time, I take those moments to recognize some of the incredible work and movements that are being done by organizations and people and leaders to promote visibility and celebration. So I just wanted to highlight a few of those right now. First of all, Quadrangle NL. It is an organization that I was proud to be a board member, a volunteer, and they are a community center for 2S LGBTQIA+ individuals and organizations. It is a space that is a resource for a building of resilience and connection, and that provides supports for existing initiatives within the community. And if you need anything, this is an incredible amount of people who are doing work now. And while they're located in St. John's, they are provincially mandated, and anyone can reach out to them. They're on, there's a number 769-2355. You can literally talk to somebody. Quadrangle also has an Instagram, a Facebook, and it's such a positive thing to have in your feed. Sometimes the negativity you see on social media could be the worst of negative concepts, hate. Put them in your Instagram and you'll feel great about it. They really highlight some great people in the community. The second, I just wanted to talk about the release of a most recent book and talk about visibility, the queer history of Newfoundland. Rhea Roman had just put that out, and it's a book out there that we can celebrate our roots and the people within our movement that have really made strides, are incredible people, and are within this community as well. So just wanted to highlight that this day is necessary, unfortunately, and there's good people doing the work around it. And I'm forever grateful and will be an ally towards this as long as I'm here.
Thanks, folks. Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. And I just want to thank my two colleagues for the kind words and the appropriate words. They're absolutely right that there's no place for this in our society. And we pride ourselves here in the city for the work we have been doing. But as Councillor Fry said, there's still work to be done. Quote is, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. So by us acknowledging this here today, speaking out publicly against it, showing our public support for all people in our community, through doing that consistently and regularly and openly and publicly, we hopefully one day will get to a point where these proclamations are no longer necessary. So I support this proclamation. And again, I want to thank my two colleagues for their lovely words. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. We're going to move now into Councillor Lane.
Thank you. My colleagues have already said so much, but I just wanted to add that, this proclamation is very important. And I too hope that there's a day when it's not necessary. But I think that we're making a lot of strides in the right direction as well, because I know as a teacher, you see in most schools now, there is a GSA or Gay Straight Alliance. And this really creates a community of acceptance in the school. And most schools have this now, and acceptance is coming a long way. Of course, there's still room to grow, but this is certainly a step in the right direction. And I encourage schools, if they don't have a GSA, to start one, because every student deserves to go to school and feel that they're accepted, that they belong, and they deserve to have a community of support around them. That's all for me. Thank you.
Wonderful. A very appropriate proclamation. We need to ensure we're diligent every single day. Let's go on now in the committee reports, corporate services and public works. Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. We have quite a few items here today, which is not the norm, but I think we have 10 in total. So I will take the first 5 items and then I'll turn it over to Deputy Mayor to finish off our committee report. The first thing for me are the invoices for approval. And we're recommending that the following invoices be approved for payment. You can see that there are 6 listed there and they total $104,778.22. And just to note that $104,778, that includes an invoice payable to Omnigo Software for $6,796.18. And this is the software that our municipal enforcement division uses for enforcement ticketing. So this is an annual subscription-based service, and this invoice is up for renewal. You see Toromont Cat there for $52,230.98. And this is for replacement parts for our loaders and other parts for our outside fleet and our heavy equipment. You can also see there are GoBus fees for the first quarter at $20,907. That just highlights a few of the 6 that are there. And our committee is recommending that we proceed with the payment of these invoices, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Locke, seconded by the Deputy Mayor. Councillor Antle has a question.
Can I just jump in because my council neighbor here gave me an updated. I didn't see this, so I apologize.
But there was nothing in the kit.
This is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll recant that, Mayor. I'll give this back to Councillor
Councillor
Fry,
Antle, please.
and I will continue.
Just a quick note there, Jim. I'm asking about last week's too. No, number 5, it says first quarter for GoBus, $20,000 and 9. That seems below. Is there a reason why is the first quarter and it's quarterly? Like our GoBus usually around $70,000 or $80,000. Thank you.
That's our administrative fee for GoBus. So that's paid quarterly overall. It's not usage.
Yeah, we pay a share of the administration cost plus a usage fee based on trips.
Oh, it's $20,000 quarterly, so it's $80,000 yearly? Or does that go up?
I think that's the math.
Yeah, it hasn't gone up annually. So that was to answer your question, right? So it's a quarterly fee and it has not gone up in 2023. Yeah, roughly.
It's paid to the St. John's Transportation Commission who administer GoBus. This is not a fee related to I'll say the driving of the buses and, the transportation and trips. If I'm off base, please let me know.
That's correct.
No, it's just that, like, sometimes I question on the GoBus, how much the GoBus costs City of Mount Pearl. And I wouldn't want to think it's $20,000 a quarter. It's far from $20,000 a quarter. It's close to $1 million a year. Thank you.
Yeah, there's lots of layers to the cost.
It is. Thank you.
Any other questions? I'll call the motion. All in favor? Counterminded? Carried.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm not sure the GoBus cost is $1 million a year, but it's about 700,000. So just to clarify that there. The next item, Mayor, is the payment register and purchase card report. for April 27th to May 10. And for the information of council and our residents, it totaled $710,892.38. And the purchase card report for March 2023 totaled $217,930.16. And you'll note that there were two identical charges for Blue Ocean's satellite for $3,630.29, which may appear like a duplicate, but it's not. It's monthly charges for our AVL software for both the months of April and May. And it's there if anybody has any questions.
I just have a comment, and I noticed in the kit there are 4 transactions there for Conception Bay Auto. Just wondering what that is, and because I'm quite certain that we usually prioritize our Mount Pro businesses first, so I'm wondering why that was there.
It's likely just based on supply, but I can tell you that the invoices were for specific tires, and specific sizes. So the first 2 were for, I won't get into the specifics of the actual tire size, but Hercules tires and Roadmaster tires. And then there was a tire levy, which was just associated with the purchase of the tires. And that was 3. And the New Flying tire levy from MMSD as well is put. So those would be the 4 purchases. So actually 2 purchases, but 2 levies. Does that help answer your question? Okay.
Thank you.
Back to you, Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. The third item for our committee is a request for tax consideration. Our committee is recommending approval to exempt the 2023 business tax, and this is in accordance with the policy for charitable and nonprofit organizations. And it's for Task Force NL at 21 Glencoe Drive. This will be 100% of the business tax exemption, and the amount is $32,643.48. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Locke, and thank you, seconded by the Deputy Mayor. Any comments, questions? I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Carried.
The next item is a request for attendance of a conference from Councillor Lane to attend the Federation of Canadian Municipalities annual conference being held in Toronto from May 25th to the 28th of 2023. And this is within budget, and I so move. Pardon me?
Just trying to coordinate with the cameras. Thank you. Again, moved by Councillor Locke, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kiley. All in favor? Those opposed? Carried.
The next item, Mayor, is a request for travel or to attend a conference. This one is the PWX, the Public Works Expo, being held in August in San Diego. And Councillor Lane is requesting to attend this professional development event. It's within the PD budget, and I so move.
Again, moved by Councillor Locke, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kiley. All in favor? Those opposed? Carried.
And I'll turn it over to Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Locke. That leaves us to our 6th item in our agenda here. And it's a request for professional development as well for our Director, Glenn Delamont, in relation to a waste and recycling expo happening in September 27th to the 26th to the 27th in Mississauga, Ontario. The committee, of course, will read this, and it falls within the mandate of our professional development and budgeting, and I so move.
It is moved by Deputy Mayor Kiley, and thank you, seconded by Councillor Locke. All in favor? Those opposed? You're going to Toronto, Mr. Delamont.
The 7th item right now is on the agenda is a request for professional development from our Director, Cassie Pittman. And this is for the Future of Work conference and happening in Chicago between June 6th and 7th. The committee also reviewed and falls within our professional development mandate and our funding, and I so move.
It is moved by Deputy Mayor Kiley, second by Councillor Locke. All in favor? Motion carried.
And that leads us to our agenda item 8. And this is in relation to a low risk investment. So the city staff conducts a continuous review of the city's financial position. That includes a review of the forecasted expenditures and cash flow. In the budget process, the city budgets the money required to fund all operations and plan capital. So over the course of time, as budgets are allocated, not all expenditures occur in the year. And that which are budgeted, which results in an allocation, but unspent city funds. So in reviewing the city's current financial position, our committee, the additional consideration has been given to ensuring these funds are working harder for our taxpayers. So the city has the responsibility, of course, to our taxpayers to limit the risks taken with public dollars. Right now, legislation, of course, limits investment risks and guides investments towards high quality, secure investments that will contribute to the fundamental goal of preservation of capital. So in considering investment vehicles, the city must balance investment risk against potential investment returns, while still meeting the daily cash flow demands of the city. So with all this, we are recommending the Corporate Services and Public Works Committee that the city invest allocated but unspent city funds in a guaranteed investment certificate up to a maximum of 10 million. And that will ensure that allocated but unspent cash is working harder to fund the city expenditures on behalf of the taxpayers. And I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Kiley, and thank you. Seconded by Councillor Locke. I think this is as much to do with a reflection because, you talked about risk and, clearly you would invest this in a very risk-free asset. But, frankly, interest rates are, they're not at all-time highs, but they are perhaps the highest they've been in 20 years. And it's incumbent on us to capture any value there. The funds that are available through the bank account are, there's slippage basically, and, some of the expenditures and the like. This is not necessarily meaning we're going to invest $10 million. This is a policy that provides the cap. This is not the transaction. This is just the policy that enables staff. This is council providing the authority to the CAO and the Director of Corporate Services to provide, for a better return that we receive on any idle cash. And again, and when I say idle, I mean, in terms of slippage, again, in terms of expenditure, primarily capital money. Any further comments, folks? I'll call a question. All in favor? Those opposed? And that's carried. Back to you.
Thank you, Your Worship. That brings us to number 9 on our agenda. So this is a proposed purchase and installation of accessible bus shelter for 2023. I'm quite excited to be talking about this. Of course, right now, to give you a little bit of background on this, the director advised that there's a budget reserve of about 10,000 from our previous year. And that was allocated to purchase and installment of an accessible bus shelter on Park Avenue in the area of Coleman Supermarket. Couldn't think of a better place when you think about people accessing core center services, the groceries, moving about the city. It's an excellent place and placement. So there were delays in proceeding with with this based on several factors. So that includes, the response to the city 3 quotes, the supply and delivery of a wheelchair accessible bus shelter. The city now has received quotes, and the lowest quote is from Pro Circuit Electrical. And that is in the amount of $18,083.18, and that includes HST. The cost of installation, so that's the materials and in-house labor, is not significant, and it could accommodate within the department's existing operating budget, which is great. And noted above, the current available budget from reserves is about 10,000. So there's no budget allocation for the bus shelter for 2023. However, it's important to note that we've identified the cost above, which is about $8,083. So that can be accommodated within the Fine Your Center budget, which of course an accessible bus shelter in the center city makes perfect sense. So as this is an expense particular area in keeping with the objectives for that project, we are recommending it. So the department recommended that the new wheelchair accessible shelter be purchased by Pro Circuit Electrical, Inc. for the cost of $18,083.18 HST, including FOB and HST. There is an available budget for $10,000 and is unanticipated additional costs of $8,083.18 that can be accommodated within this budget, within the 2023 budget. And in the interest of timing, the matter was discussed at the Committee of the Whole on May 2nd with myself and my colleague, Councillor Locke, and our committee, and supported the recommendation and authorized the staff to proceed with the purchase, with the matter to come forward to the next meeting for council to ratify. So Inclusion NL, which is very important, has since been invited to provide input regarding the placement and installation of the bus. And of course, this is just an incredible addition, but we also want to make sure our key community partners and our disability community is a part of the development of this. So nothing about us without us, of course. So for the recommendation, I'm just going to say that just to make sure it's within the proper taking. The Corporate Services Public Works Committee recommends approval of the ratification of Pro Circuit Electrical, Inc. to supply and deliver one wheelchair accessible bus shelter in the amount of $18,083.18, including HST, which is within budget. And I so move.
It is moved by the Deputy Mayor and seconded by Councillor Locke. Any comments? Councillor Fry, please.
I think this is wonderful. So happy to see this here. My question though is, are there any plans for any other bus shelters? Because I know that, we had a couple of years ago, just wondering if there are any plans to add any more. I
Who
think
wants to take that one? Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
No, I think it's a fantastic question. It was something that was also brought up within the guidelines of our budget. That's what we have for this year. However, I'm sure we could defer to planning. I think this is to me, I'd like to think about it as a planted seed for more to come.
I'm going to call the question then. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Thank you. Carried.
I'm not done yet. Sorry, folks. The last item on our agenda is the Energy Efficient Grant Program recommendation. And happy, again, another good note and a recommendation being brought here. So just a quick background here. Of course, the city has received an application from VOAR Seventh-day Adventist on 1043-1047 Topsail Road for the Energy Efficient Grant Program. So applicants who meet that criteria, just to remind everyone, it's an incredible program that has most recently been introduced in our last budget, but they can receive up to 50% of the total project costs up to a maximum of $5,000. And the Judging and Selection Committee has reviewed, scored, and evaluated the application based on the project and submission criteria. So the amount requested was $10,000, and with $5,000 being 50% of the amount is what was granted. So the property is currently owned and operated by the Seventh-day Adventist Church and in the Lighthouse VOAR radio, which is certainly an institution for many listeners and people who throughout the years. They are full nonprofit and solely rely on donations and offerings to operate. So their new renovations for the building will include full LED lighting, which will replace existing lighting throughout their entire building. All new electrical was also installed. The new equipment for the LED lighting will reduce the demand of the power grid. The organization has demonstrated an alignment with the city's vision to reduce carbon footprint, and this project does meet the criteria outlined in the program guidelines. So with that being said, the Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends the approval of a grant of $5,000 to VOAR Seventh-day Adventist to contribute to the cost of the energy efficient LED light project at the property of 1043-1047 Topsail Road. That meets the criteria of the Energy Efficient Grant Program and to reduce the city's carbon footprint. And I so move.
It is moved again by the Deputy Mayor and Councillor Locke is seconded. All in favor? Motion is carried. Thank you. Contrary-minded? None. Thank you, Bob.
My apologies. I said there was 10 items.
Well, I was about to say the marathon is continuing. We're not quite at the finish, but we're in mile 25.
Okay, but it's Public Works Week, so this is an important agenda item, as we've all we've talked about. The last item, and I promise, is number 11, Public Works Status Report. So the committee reviewed the following status report, and we're just going to quickly review some of the incredible work that has been done in the city by our Public Works this period. That includes right now ongoing is our bulk collection underway for May, 1 week per zone for 5 zones. So, you know, we're certainly seeing that being collected and dispersed amongst our neighborhoods. There's repairs on manholes, catch basins, and curbs are ongoing. Review and assessments of requests for repairs to damages as a result of snow clearing has begun. So that includes everything from seeing the lawn repairs, and although we've been identified because of our weather and because of we're living in Newfoundland, it might be June or July before we start seeing some of that sod turn. We also Parks Department ramping up the summer season, which is lovely to see with this nice sunny day. That includes sports field maintenance, trail repairs, and litter cleanup. We also are beginning to see interest and work inquiries about our commemorative bench and tree program gearing up for 2023. We've seen street and sidewalk sweeping having begun, fleet maintenance and summer equipment ongoing. And with regards to the National Occupational Health and Safety Week, events during May 1st and 5th have included training sessions for emergency and standard first aid, mental health, fatigue management, and a mock rescue. We also wanted to make important note that Canada Post will be commencing their cleanup around the community mailboxes. And we're certainly keeping a close eye on that, or certainly our Public Works is, to ensure it is up to where our community would like to see it. Water and sewer work is ongoing, of course, and our water levels at Maples, it was noted at the meeting that it's going up to where it's supposed to be, and it may have to do with an ungodly amount of rain drizzle fog for the past couple of weeks. So it's good that we need the rain, as everyone said, and the rain came, and now it's sunny, and that's the end of the report.
Thank you very much. It's a good thing it's not snow. We're going to move on to the Planning, Engineering, and Development Committee. I believe it's Councillor Fry.
Thank you, Your Worship. First on our agenda tonight is the building and occupancy permit listing for the period of April the 24th to May 5th. So the committee recommends that the building permits issued for this period, showing a total construction value of $2,927,014 be approved. And you can see in your kit, there are a number of accessory buildings, renovations, retaining wall, all kinds of things, installing a heat pump. And I so move.
It's been moved by Councillor Fry, and thank you, seconded by Councillor Rice. I was up to the Brant Drive area today. It is bustling up there with that new subdivision. So it's looking good. 3 new houses, and they're not cheap. I don't see any dollar values on my sheet, but I do notice the total direct rental is $1,228,000. So we're off to a good start this spring. Any comments, council? Further? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Those opposed? And carried. Thank you.
Okay, next, we have our building permits and occupancy permit list for construction for commercial. We have 2 there, Atlantic Home Furnishings Limited for extension, renovations and roof repair, and the College of Registered Nurses for renovation of existing office. And I so move.
And again, moved by Councillor Fry. Thank you. Second by Councillor Rice. All in favor? Those opposed? And carried.
Now I'm going to turn it over to Councillor Rice for the remainder of our committee report this evening.
Thank you, Councillor Fry. So number 2 is our development and permit listing for April 24 to May the 5th, 2023. So the Planning, Engineering, Development Committee recommends that the following development permits be approved as presented for the period of April 24 to May the 5th. You see 3 there on our kit there. It's the window shop, new building associated site work, clean cut services NL for home office space, and family care, family child daycare on 20 Whalen Avenue. And I so move.
It is moved by Counselor Rice and seconded by Counselor Fry. 1082 Topsail Road, where's that to? I might ask.
Your worship, you're catching me by surprise, but that
Apologies.
is in the area. I call it, my best memory is opposite the old Honda One. In that area, if ever, and it's just east of Atlantic Home Furnishings that way.
It's nice to see some of the old neighborhoods, even commercial, being redeveloped too over time. I noticed the Atlantic Home Furnishings item and now this, the department's doing good work and moving development further ahead. Thank you very much. Any other questions, council? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary-minded and carried. Back to you.
Thank you, Worship. This next one is for information purposes, a capital project update. Please see below for the list of activities project through the city. And the first one is Spruce Avenue infrastructure update. That one is scheduled completion date to be August the 30th, 2023. Old Placentia Road pedestrian underpass remediation. That one is scheduled for June the 25th, 2023. That's been through the winter. That one went through and we started back up again in the spring. And our last one is our smart accessible playground, which we're also happy to have our celebration of opening that one. And that one is scheduled for July the 15th, 2023. That's it for us, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the final committee report, Recreation and Community Safety. Counselor Antle, please.
Your worship, we won't be like corporate service. We haven't got 11 items. We have one, but it's very important. Right? It has to do with summer day camp registration for 2023. A reminder to the public that our summer day camp registration will take place online for Mount Pearl residents starting on Tuesday, May the 30th at 5 o'clock. And then for non-residents starting on Thursday, June the 1st at 5 o'clock. And further details are on our website, and pay attention to that. And we're looking forward to a good summer. That's it, short but sweet.
I like an efficient delivery of the report. Well done, right? Yeah, really quick, right? But that doesn't always work out that way. You folks, now come on, recreation and community safety, you quite often have your hands full too, right? So at the end of the day, I think the workload's fairly evenly spread. But thank you, Councillor Antle, and I'm going to move on to our roundtable. Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Worship. I'll be very quick and brief. I got two items. So you mentioned actually on your preamble there about a focus on youth awards is tomorrow night, May 17th at the Glacier. And so I'm so happy to take part in this tomorrow night. The city will be putting off this event, and I'm sure all of the people will be in attendance to that, most of the councillors as well. So I'm looking forward to that one. And the second item I have is I want to say a big thank you to the IPW department. We had several complaints about the old pool area at Stapleton Road. And I want to say a big thank you to the IPW for installing those barriers. And we have had an email back already thanking us for that. And it's nice to see, when you get the response from the residents, when you do actions and put stuff forward that you're helping them out. And it means a lot to the council as well. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. That's it for me, Worship.
Thank you very much, Councillor Lane.
Thank you, Your Worship. It'll only be one for me this evening. I'm also looking forward to attending the Focus on Youth tomorrow, because we certainly have amazing youth here in the city. And I'm just going to mention one. So a big congratulations to Maripol Senior High student Ava Antle on winning 2 national acting awards at the Canadian Model and Talent Convention this past weekend. She was second runner-up in self-tape acting competition, and she placed first in all of Canada in her age group for the best Canadian actor in TV and film casting judged. It was judged by talent, film, and casting industry reps from all over the world. So way to go, Ava. That's a huge accomplishment. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Congratulations. Yes, Ava, that is going somewhere and far, not to diminish all the other talents here in the city of Mount Pearl, but it's nice when we spread our wings. Councillor Fry.
I'm also going to be quick this evening. Looking forward to tomorrow night for the Focus on Youth Awards. I know that's a big event here in our city, and I just want to congratulate all of the nominees and say a thank you to those who nominated them, because that's the important part. And for me tonight, I just wanted to extend a congratulations and thank you to the Mount Pearl Minor Hockey Association. We attended their year-end banquet and the excitement was very high. But you know, it takes a lot of work and a lot of coordination and a lot of planning and a lot of volunteer hours to make that happen. And I just wanted to send out a thank you for all of those involved in making such a successful year of hockey for our kids. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well said. Counselor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. My grandson attended that hockey banquet and he was super excited about, first of all, the food and then the medal that he received. I think Mount Pearl is one of the few, if not the only, minor hockey associations that has the annual banquet. At least they were many years ago. So it's good to see. I also want to extend congratulations to the robotics team at Mount Pearl Senior High. They won again the competition and they are off to the international competition again in Colorado. So the amazing work from the students and of course the teacher volunteers that spend countless hours after school to get them there. So I'm looking forward to announcing another international award. The last one for me, Mayor, I just want to send out a huge thank you to all our residents for submitting their pictures in our Show Us Your Mount Pearl little contest we had last week online in honor of our Municipal Awareness Week. We have drawn a name and we've reached out to the lucky winner. Can I announce the winner? The winner is Krista Fagan. And I don't know if we're able to show her picture. Voila, there's the lovely picture. So our Mount Pearl. So I want to again thank our staff for putting this contest off. I think we got a lot of great interest. So and congratulations to Krista Fagan for winning the top prize, sir. That's it for me, Mayor. I thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Kiley, please.
What a cute picture. What a doll. So I've just got one item, Your Worship. And I wanted to just make a good call out. We're going to see it all over the place and we're going to boost the signal, but I certainly want to do my part to get it out there because super exciting. As a part of our Find Your Center City Center Renewal Plan, the city has completed construction on the first city-owned commercial kiosk. Yay! And we've been always talking, I'm certainly my co-chair and I have been talking about updates on it. We've been asking about it. Now we're at the point where we're installing it and properly locating it at 29 Forest Avenue. We got an address, folks. So the location near the Waterford Valley Trailway has been strategically chosen as the city intends to host events, markets, trail activation, and other activities in this area to attract residents, visitors, and tourists to the area. So this week, the city is going to be issuing a call for vendors. So that's to secure a tenant in the hospitality, craft, retail, recreation, food, all of the above, entertainment sectors. So once a vendor is selected, we're going to host a launch event later in June, which is not far away, and to unveil the kiosk and promote the area as a destination along the trailway system. So the vendor kiosk will then be open to the public and for the remainder of the summer. So this is the start of great things. And so if anyone is listening and you know a great place that you want to maybe make home in Mount Pearl, whether it's food, entertainment, some fun, let them know about this because it would be incredible. And it's just going to, brighten our city up. So that's all for me, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. And to you, Councillor Antle.
Thank you, Your Worship. Started to laugh when Deputy Mayor said, if anybody's listening, so this I'm hoping somebody's paying. I'm hoping somebody's paying attention. All right. I couldn't get my picture on screen. So just a quick thing for me is that our pickleball is huge here in Mount Pearl since we launched it. Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's full. The classes are full. We remind residents to put their names in and give it a go. And just while I was doing this, we had an email from a resident looking for something on Gillam Crescent. Well, they're already playing pickleball, so pickleball is taken off, and It's a great way to play, get some exercise. And you know, that's it for me, Your Worship. I hope somebody's listening.
I was listening.
That was funny when you said that.
Well, thank you very much. I don't have really too much to add. I want to put Director Pittman on the spot because this is National Composting Week. And we have a program where I believe we have up to quite a number of bins that are available to our residents. So if you have a green thumb and you want to just exercise that thumb a little bit in an environmentally friendly way and, you know, save the landfill from a few tons, I'd like to invite Director Pittman, I should say, to tell us more about it.
Sure. I love to talk about our composting program, which is no longer a pilot. It has graduated to a program. So that is fantastic. It's the third year that we've offered composting in the city of Mount Pearl. So that's a testament to council and staff for supporting our climate change initiative, which we're very excited about in our climate change action plan. So residents, the call is out, as the mayor indicated, on social media and our website, and residents have to participate in either self-paced online learning education, or they can participate in an in-person session led by MMSB. And that's really designed to make sure that you know what you are signing up for as it relates to composting, and you know how to handle composting on your own. And so all we require is proof of that completion, and you can purchase your composting bin. And so we've got up to 80 bins available for the city of Mount Pearl, which matches our 50 that we've distributed in the last couple of years. So we're well on our way to providing a great composting program. Thank you for mentioning it because it's very exciting. And for anybody who wants more information, please just reach out.
No, thank you very much for promoting it. I think it's really, yeah, it's important too. And hopefully we can get some of our youth involved, many of our families, because it let the word spread, let neighbors set good examples for other neighbors. In closing, I would just like to say, because we won't talk about the Focus on Youth Awards for another 2 weeks, but I know CAO Sparrow, our Rosie Stead has put an awful lot of work into it under the leadership of Director Collins. And I know it involves the many of our staff and the entirety of our community, because, you know, frankly, we look forward to tomorrow night as a reflection of the future for the city. Would you like to comment on the work of Ms. Stead?
Thanks, Your Worship. No, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of work that goes behind the planning and the logistics for that. And Rosie's phenomenal, as always, in the work she does. And it's a great event. Last year was my first year, and I can't wait to go again. I think it's going to be one of my must-to attend events every year. It's truly a gala event, and the youth are phenomenal, and it's very uplifting to see it. So look forward to seeing you all there tomorrow night.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we look forward to tomorrow night. So we'll see you all then. In the meantime, on motion of Councillor Antle, second by Councillor Rice, we are adjourned.